She didn't realize the Admiral even knew her name, until he used her call sign, and every decorated officer in the war room went silent. A woman carrying a tray of coffee shouldn't have been the most dangerous person there, but she was. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening. By mid-morning, sunlight flooded the Navy war room, turning the polished table into a mirror of bright gold. Officers shuffled briefings, radios hissed, stress thickened the air like humidity before a storm, and right in the middle of it all moved a quiet civilian aide named Mara Collins, balancing a silver tray of steaming coffee cups. She kept her eyes down. She always did, until the moment Admiral Harrington, a man with more medals than most could name, glanced up, smirked, and said a word no one expected: Valkyrie. The tray shook in her hands. A cup rattled. Conversations collapsed into silence. A young commander's pen froze mid-air. Someone whispered, "Did he just?" No one had used that name in years. She thought she'd never hear it again. She was wrong. Mara set the tray down carefully, willing her heartbeat to quiet. The room watched her, their expressions shifting from confusion to disbelief, as though the sunlight itself had suddenly changed color. "How do you know that call sign?" she asked, her voice steady but quiet. The Admiral leaned back, studying her like she was a classified file he'd just rediscovered. "Because I was there," he said. "Or at least, close enough to hear the radio go dead." Mara's breath caught. Dust swirled through the sunlit air, dancing between them like unspoken ghosts. Every officer present leaned forward. You could feel the collective pull, the hunger for answers, the sense that something monumental was unfolding in plain daylight. Years earlier, she'd been the youngest drone rescue pilot in her unit. She'd steered unmanned craft through burning forests to extract trapped medics. She'd saved dozens, and on the day that changed everything, she lost someone she couldn't save, a soldier named Carter Hayes. Her teammate, her closest friend, the man who used to call her Valkyrie, because he said she flew like she carried souls out of danger. After the crash, the military stopped talking about it, classified, buried, and Mara walked away, convinced someone wanted the whole story forgotten. But Harrington wasn't done. "You didn't abandon the mission," he said. "You disobeyed orders to keep another fire team alive. You flew into a collapsing canyon that no one thought you'd escape." Murmurs rippled through the room like wind stirring tall grass. Officers who had seen combat straightened in their seats. A few older veterans stood at the back, arms crossed, nodding slowly as fragments of a long-suppressed truth took shape. Mara swallowed hard. "I broke protocol. You saved 12 people," the Admiral corrected, "including my nephew." He paused. "And Carter Hayes didn't die because of you." The room froze again. Even the ventilation hum felt distant. A weight she had carried for years tightened in her chest, then cracked. "Then why classify everything?" she whispered. "Because Harrington said. Someone tried to pin the failure on the wrong person." Outside the tall windows, sunlight spilled across the courtyard, where a group of young cadets walked by, glancing toward the building as if they sensed the tension inside. The Admiral stood slowly, placing both hands on the table. "This ends today." He looked around the room at every ranking officer present. "We're reopening the report, and Lieutenant Hayes' final audio, the part they cut, will be restored to the record." His last words were her name. He told command that Valkyrie was the reason anyone got out alive. Emotion surged through the room like a tide. Some officers bowed their heads, others blinked against the sting in their eyes. Sunlight caught Mara's face, revealing the single tear she let fall, not from grief, but from release. For the first time in years, she stood tall in the brightness of day, the weight lifting from her shoulders like dust finally settling. Because courage doesn't disappear. It waits for daylight to reveal it again. And sometimes the quietest person in the room is the one carrying the brightest truth. If this story moved you, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more stories that shine a light on the unseen heroes around us.